Hi, I'm Alice.
And I'm Sophie.
And we are co-directors of The Joyful. And we're doing this video today because we really wanted to talk to you, our fellow business owners, about the pressure that we can sometimes put on ourselves when we make the commitment to be a good or conscious or purpose-led business. And that's a pressure that we have really put on ourselves since we started. We set out with the purpose of doing things differently. We pretty much sat down in a pub garden and said that we wanted to revolutionize the entire marketing industry before we even had a business. So from day one, there's a fair amount of pressure right there. And, you know, now it's been a year since literally everything changed and the world went completely topsy-turvy, and we started our journey a year ago. I've just watched back a video that we did in March 2020, talking about the intense pressure that we were putting on ourselves then to be of service and do good and be the saviors of the global crisis from our respective flats in Brighton when we weren't allowed to go anywhere. And and that got us talking about pressure. So Sophie, do you want to kick off by, you know, talking a bit about what your experience has been in terms of being a business owner that is really passionate about making an impact?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, like I'm a kind of lifelong overachiever, almost. And actually, the more that I've kind of dug into this, the more that I'm uncovering how much ego was involved in it, because really was about like, I've got to use, like, oh, okay, actually on the one side it occurred, or it appeared to me like I've got to use my life to make a difference. I've got to be the change. I've got to, like, all this kind of like driving, I've got to be the one to make things different.
Mm-hmm.
And what that caused in me was a complete sense of disrest and something is wrongness that was there all the time. So it was like very much not in the present moment, very much constantly seeing the wrong, and then putting myself in the position of like the hero. I can change this. It's my responsibility. It's my duty. And then I thought, like, what if like there's nothing wrong, and this is all just part of the journey, and all I can do, really, all any of us can do really, is what is right and true to us and our values in any given moment. And like what you were just talking about, Alice, about when we first started, I thought about how our first strapline was changing the way the world does marketing. And then we went even further and it was changing the way the world does business.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We've always been ambitious. You can't say otherwise about us.
But it's like now, actually, like, we kind of reframed it, and we were like, well, who's to say how the world should be? Like, there's so many different experiences and so many different cultures and so many different actions and reactions to things. There's no one person who can say that this is how it should be. So then we thought, well, what do we really want to do, and who do we really want to help? And sort of narrowed it down to our actual immediate world. And like, oh my God, things are so much more manageable.
And I think that comes down to, you know, a really important thing that we said in our video a year ago, and we absolutely still stand by now, is that, like, you are your business when you're a small business owner. You know, a year ago it was just the two of us, and we were the joyful, you know. Our social media handles are We Are The Joyful. We were the joyful, just us two.
You could see us riding around on a carousel near you anywhere you looked on our social media.
And yet we were trying, I think we fell into the trap of trying to give and give and give and give so much and make so much of an impact to the detriment of ourselves. So before we'd really even looked after our own basic needs, we wanted to give back and give back and give back and make things better for, you know, for the world, for other people, when, you know, we hadn't really stabilized in ourselves. We weren't really looking after ourselves. And especially a year ago when the pandemic hit, we went into total overdrive of like, how can we help? How can we help? What can we give for free? What can we do? How can we be better? Without just really focusing on how we could look after ourselves, how we could, you know, focus on the work we were already doing. And you know, it's a kind of cliche that you hear again and again and again, like you can't pour from an empty cup. And I you know, I meet so many business owners who are doing amazing things and are so passionate and want to give back, and they're trying to give back when their own cup is running almost empty. And I think it's so important to remember that the most important thing is taking care of you, is taking care of your people, is taking care of your clients. And then when that is done in the best way, and it will be done brilliantly, because you are someone who wants to do good and be conscious and give back, so you will do all of that differently and you will make an impact. Sorry, there's a bin lorry outside, so I'm sure that's a lovely soundtrack you can hear. I try and give a really impassioned speech, but you know, once you've done that, once you've looked after your people and your teams and yourself and your work, your reservoir is then full, and then you can give from your surplus. And I think that's so important. You know, don't feel pressure to give back until you have something that you can give without it having a detrimental impact on yourself or your people.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely key. And I think the other thing is, like, when we think about businesses that do good, we're not just thinking about their corporate social responsibility or the money that they might give to charity or the voluntary days they might give to their staff. We think about the whole ecosystem of the business and how every single part of that works in integrity to create something truly remarkable. And that takes a lot of time and effort and energy. And like, we know, because we, you know, our business is like astronomically grown in the last 6 months. We now have 5 employees. There's 7 of us from just 2 last year. And it was I'm sad actually to say that it was easy when it was just me and Alice to push ourselves and work all the time and berate ourselves for not, you know, doing enough. And now that we've got a responsibility to show up consistently as our best self and to have surplus energy when one of our team needs something, or, you know, we've got clients that are like bigger than we could have imagined, doing incredible things when they need something the last minute. If we are depleted, then what can we give? And like, they are our key responsibility. And because we make them our key responsibility by making ourselves and our own energy reserves also our key responsibility, it means we can actually do a lot more anyway, because they're all empowered. So they're doing these amazing things, everything's happening, and we're just like, oh, okay, well, now we can actually have some space and time to think about all of the other things as a business we want to do outside of our ecosystem.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think that's such an important point. And like, to reiterate, it has taken us 4 years nearly to be sitting here and saying this.
So many mistakes.
And so many mistakes and so many burnouts. And, you know, it didn't have to be that way, but I don't think anyone can say that without the benefit of hindsight. If you could, no one would ever burn out again.
Yeah, this is it. And I think for us, maybe it really did need to be that way, because we wouldn't, like, you can read books, you can even watch this video and go, yeah, I totally resonate. But actually, we all have our own journey, and we often, at least for me, often I have to walk the hard line several times usually, before I'm like, oh, maybe I can just take that path that's not through the brambles and the like broken glass. I'll just take the nice, like, scenic route.
Yeah,
so yeah, it's just a process. And I think one of the things that we're really passionate about as a business is really supporting business owners to be the best they can be for themselves and for their business. And that's really the kind of motivation behind this video, is for us to be able to pay it back through our experience, because it's not just your time and your energy and your money that makes a difference. It's the sharing of experiences and being in a community and all of these other things that's such a human need, that's also just as impactful and worthy as anything else that you could do.
Completely. And then just to round off, Sophie, do you want to give a bit of a rundown of B1G1 and how brilliant it is, and
Yes,
how excited we are to have found it?
I'm so excited about it. So Fox, who, if any of you know, Fox Gear is just an incredible human being and a fantastic coach. And he and I have been having, hi Fox, if you're watching. He and I have been having a lot of conversations over the years about how we can be a business that gives back without burning out. And one of the things that's keep coming up is this membership platform called B1G1, which you sign up and you pay your membership fee. And what that gives you is access to a whole range of different charitable initiatives that fall under the UN's global objectives around sustainability. So it's kind of really targeted and purposeful. And every single penny that you give through those organizations, nothing comes off. So it's not like a lot of other charities where they take a percentage to keep themselves running. Your membership fee is what keeps B1G1 running, and everything else is just going directly to the cause, which in and of itself is amazing because it really helps to measure impact. But also, it's just incredible how much impact can be made for such a little amount of money, actually, to, you know, the Western mind. And, you know, for as little as like 5 pence, you can make a really big difference. And the other thing that I think is so cool is that they have different widgets that you can use on your website that tell your audiences what impact you're making. And you can kind of gamify it by being like, well, anytime that you make an inquiry, we will donate like 5 clean waters to 5 different villages in Africa, or something like that. And it's, or we'll send a woman from a disadvantaged background through business school. And it's like, that's so cool. And I just think that's how you change marketing. Like, obviously this isn't just about marketing, but for us it really is. It's like not trying to manipulate people into going down a sales funnel, but like rewarding people for actions that they take in the journey to getting in touch with you. So you're not just a business creating an impact for them as a business, but you're a business creating impact for the world through their actions as well as your own. It's like, that's an ecosystem really, in the way that that kind of works with each other. And I just love it. So hopefully the B1G1 guys are watching, because I just want to say how impressed I am with you.
We are in no way affiliates or
No, we're not. I just love it.
This is just out of pure kind of admiration and love and respect for what you're doing. So
Yeah.
So I hope this conversation has helped, and yeah, don't be so hard on yourself. You're already doing amazing just by making the commitment to be a conscious, good, purpose-led business owner.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. Bye.